Hello, it is Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's Wednesday afternoon. I have 4 things to show you from the clay bin, which has been downsized from a big tray, from a tray this size to this. Yeah, it doesn't spread out as much and let you see the different colors, but you can always peek from underneath and see what's in there. It's down to 7 ounces. I'm getting closer to the end. Yes. So I finished 4 things. First, I took my bunny notebook out to my chair with me, and I was leafing through like, nope, that one's too big. Nope, that one's too big. That one's a possibility. Yes. Especially if you make the body one color, the legs and arms another color, and the ears a third color, and then you have the little weight. So, I do sort of want to make another one like that, but I don't know. I think that this highlighter greenish yellow is like the only one where I have more than one skein, and I think that took like 0.4, and all of these are like 0.35 at the most. So I don't know how a highlighter green bunny would look, or yellow. I don't know what color that is. They don't come with names. Okay, so that was project number 1. Ta-da! Project number 2, a little further back in my bunny notebook, was bunny in a basket. And this is a snug fit. I think the first time I made this, I didn't do the slip stitches at the top. So there's the little bunny, and it takes a little wiggle and push and all that to fit it into the tight little basket. So you know it's not going to fall out. But there it is. Bunny in a basket. Second bunny from last night's work. Then I sort of got tired of bunnies. Now, I went through the whole notebook, and I was looking at the colors. It's like, I don't want to do a bunny in blue or green or red or, So I had peach and gray, and I made a turtle. I put big cartoon eyes on him. This is from the book by Genna Tatu, No So Mini Amigurumi, made by Genna. So that was the third thing. And then just before I came back to do my video, I finished a little jellyfish from Genna's book. Here we go, little purple jellyfish. And if you were to look really, really close, and it's not showing up on this camera, I don't know if he shows back here. I had a little ball of purple yarn, and I had 2 skeins, and I thought they were all the same color. The first purple goes down to here, and it is just a touch different. If you hold it in good lighting, you can see. I don't know if it would. There we go. Yeah, you can see just above the eye, a row above the eyes, how there's just a slight color change. It's actually redder than that. It's a grape purple and then sort of a reddish grape down here. So, I don't know. It'll go in my $8 bin. So that's all I finished for today. 7 ounces left to go. I am accumulating a lot of little like this. So I think my next project might be to take either the skinny snake, I almost said recipe, skinny snake pattern that I printed out from Stitch by Faye, or the snake pattern from the Made by Genna book, and just do a snake where I start out with red, and then I go to orange, yellow, green, blue, and it'll be a small snake. Just little colorful stripes, but rainbow stripes. I could probably do that twice or 3 times and finish off a bunch of the little things left over in here. The problem is, and I love having this problem, I got an Etsy order yesterday and I need to work on it today. It's for donut holes and a little carrying box for them. And since it's, all of a sudden I feel like an itch here. I can scratch that itch. I don't keep a bunch of donut holes on hand. Because when somebody places an order, it's like, okay, I can make them pink for strawberry and white for powdered sugar and tan for plain and chocolate colored or sprinkle, like tan with sprinkles. So I have a lot of different options. So rather than having this big bin of donut holes where I have to pick through, I just make them when the order comes in. Because they're just little, 6, 12, 18, 18, 12, 6. They work up quickly. But I need to make a dozen for this order. So I gotta work it. And I need to make the little box. But the little box is made with 2 strands of worsted weight, a decay hook. So that's also a very quick project. So I will be working on that today to get that out in the mail tomorrow. And then I'll get back to this. It's getting so close. I'm like, but I want to work on this instead. I want to get this down. Let's see, this 7 ounces. I want to get this down under 5 ounces. Because under 5 ounces, that's something I could do in one day. So I think I'll get the Etsy order done. And then maybe I can just knock off another ounce or so from this box. And tomorrow I'm going to go gung-ho on this. So either Thursday or Friday, I'm hoping to get this finished. And then it'll be back to my works in progress, challenges, all that stuff. Get back to the way things were. But it's just, the bag was right next to my chair. And you know how when there's something unfinished out in the open next to your work area, it just keeps like, yoo-hoo, I'm here. Yoo-hoo, work on me. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. It's just, okay, we'll get this done. And I am making excellent progress on making small items for my next craft show and hanging items from a Buy Nothing group that I'm in. I'll see if I have a picture I can put up here of how I have a 3x3 black metal grid that I use to display stuff at a craft show. Someone gave me 4 or 6 more grids. Now, the grid, the 3x3 grid fits nicely into the back of my car. It's all put together. I fill the cubes that go into it, and then I wrap it with pallet wrapping tape, put it in the car like that. All I have to do is put it up on the table, cut the pallet wrapping stuff off, and start pulling out the cubes. Either put the stuff in the empty spot or set the cube over to the side or on the other table and use that, put the stuff in there. Okay. So I don't want to add to the grid that I've got, but I'm thinking I could take this grid. I'm looking for, here's, okay. Take the grid and, okay, next to the regular grid, put the new grid on top of it, secure it. Maybe it wouldn't even have to be on the top. Maybe I could go down one grid level. Secure it to the side of the grid, and then use some yarn or something so it doesn't flop down, and then use that to hang all of these things that are best displayed hanging. I've got lots of stuff. That hangs. So this will be a good way to display it. This next show will be the first tryout of that, to see how that goes. That show is what? Tomorrow's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so 10 days away. Yep. Yeah, I'll get there. There's still a bunch of organization that needs to be done. Oh, my inventory list, it's a mess. And it's like, I'm not printing out a new one. I'm not printing out a new one until the day before I leave for the show, so that I have a brand spanking new list with all the additions. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to keep plugging away at finishing this up and making stuff from my restock list and getting some stuff on Etsy. I am over average for September on Etsy now, in both number of sales and the cash amount of sales. Whew. So it's my Etsy shop. Etsy is apparently showing me to people again. After virtually no views all summer long, things are picking up again. And I'm very grateful for that. Even if it does take me away from my clay. Okay, dinner's in the oven. We're having an early dinner today. Hopefully this will be the last appearance of the leftover lasagna. And hopefully I will remember the next time I make lasagna to make a smaller pan. Because I think we had it for dinner once, for leftovers twice, and now this is the 4th time we are having lasagna within the course of 1 week. And it will be a long time before I make lasagna again, because I'm getting sort of sick of it. Yeah. But it's in the oven. I need to go put in some garlic bread for my husband and start making some salads. In order to make my husband's salad, I gotta go down to the basement and get some black olives. And that reminds me, there was something I wanted to add to the shopping list. And hopefully I will remember that while I'm making dinner, because it's not popping into my memory right now. We always used to joke around when we had kids at home. When there were 3 kids living here. Although, 3 kids, but by the time the 3rd kid arrived, the others were older. They were 10 and 8 when Bethany was born. So, at one point we had like a couple of teenagers and a toddler in the house. But when we had 3 children living at home, and I was working, once Bethany turned 4, I went back to work. And I was only shopping once a week. And we'd call it the Friday fridge, like the Friday fridge syndrome. By the time it was time for me to go out shopping and get some groceries, the fridge would be so empty. And through the summer months, we've had a lot of produce in there. But this week, we're going to have a Friday fridge by the time I get out shopping. We're running out of everything. But that's okay. That's okay. I can work around it. Okay. The sooner I get out there and get dinner on the table, the sooner I can get back to playing with yarn and getting the Etsy order out. So, bye-bye.